Due to a number of sponsors, buses will be provided to Texas A&M students to take them to City Hall during early voting. The effects of Hurricane Ian are still being felt in Florida and surrounding areas, but several A&M teams have been deployed to help with the disaster relief, and a certain organization on campus is involved in all things paranormal, and not just during Halloween. I'm Caroline Wilburn, and welcome back to this week's episode of The Bat Signal. Following the removal of the Memorial Student Center MSC as an on-campus early voting location, entities from around the state are stepping in to donate funds to bus students from the Texas A&M campus to the College Station City Hall during the duration of early voting. One of those entities is the Brazos County Commissioner's Court, which made the initial decision to remove the voting location. Here to talk more about the bus situation is Managing Editor Kyle McClinigan. Thank you so much for coming on, Kyle.
Yeah, of course.
So, I understand that you went to the Commissioner's Court meeting on Tuesday, October 11th, and what did the Commissioner's Court decide in relation to sponsoring buses?
Yeah, so this Tuesday, the Commissioner's Court approved a measure that would reimburse Texas A&M University for up to $5,000 for the cost of transporting voters from campus to the College Station City Hall.
Okay, so what specific commissioners voted in favor of this?
Yeah, so County Judge Don Peters, Precinct 3 Commissioner Nancy Berry, and Precinct 4 Commissioner Irma Cawley voted in favor of this measure, which would provide transportation from October 24th to November 4th. Commissioners from Precinct 1 and 2 were not present at the meeting due to an ongoing dispute over a tax rate decision, which can only be passed with 4 members present.
And were there any students present at the meeting?
Yes, business senior Ishka Shah spoke to the Commissioner's Court before the vote and said while she appreciates the court's reimbursement, she and other students of A&M would benefit from more early voting transportation funding to accommodate class schedules.
So what did Shaw recommend instead?
Shaw recommended that the court provide $15,303.50 in funds so that the buses can operate for an estimated 115 hours instead of just the 36, which the $5,000 from the Commissioner's Court would cover. No amendment to the $5,000 reimbursement was made, and the agenda item passed with a unanimous vote by all the present members of the court.
The students of Texas A&M appreciate your consideration in funding our transportation to City Hall for voting. I spoke with Transportation Services yesterday, and from my understanding, the county is currently planning to fund 36 hours of early voting transportation. However, we calculated based on student classes and the fact that it's midterms, and also that there's not really any parking at City Hall. I drove past there this morning and I could count the available spots on my fingers. So we calculated that we would require buses for a longer period of time, and it'd be difficult to determine which 3 days would be best for the shuttle to run. The shuttle buses are not only for the voters that do not have vehicles, but also it's in the best interest of city traffic.
The time and days in which the shuttle will run have not yet been determined.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hurricane Ian's effects are still being felt in Florida and surrounding states. In an effort to help, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has deployed several Texas A&M teams to aid in recovery effort. Here to talk more about the teams is news writer Amanda Hare. Amanda, thank you so much for coming on. So, what are the names of the teams that have been deployed by Abbott?
So Abbott has deployed the Texas A&M Veterinary Emergency Team, or VET, the AgriLife Extension Services Disaster Assessment and Recovery Unit, Forest Service and Engineering Extension Service Task Force 1, and the state of Florida also deployed the Texas A&M Center for Robotic Assisted Search and Rescue, or CRASAR.
So can you tell us a little bit more about VET and how they're kind of aiding in the disaster relief?
Yeah, so VET brought 20 people to Florida Tuesday, October 4th, and they were there until Wednesday, October 12th. And the team included veterinarians, technicians, and staff, as well as disaster assessment recovery agents from the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. So the team aided over 35 disasters, including Hurricane Harvey in the past, as well as any wildfires and most Texas disasters. Associate Professor and Vet Director Wesley Bissett said this included treating wounds and focusing on hydration in the hot climate.
So, did the vet group use any animals in their relief aid?
VET worked with around 25 canines every day. They were based with the Texas and Ohio Task Force 1 in a parking lot, and they would send medical units out to the canines at places like Fort Myers Beach. In addition, VET also offered a special decontamination unit when dogs would get contaminated from floodwaters.
Okay, and can you tell us a little bit more about the robot-assisted search and rescue that was deployed by Florida?
So Professor and Krazar, which is a better known name for the team, director Robin Murphy traveled to Florida Monday, October 3rd with a PhD student named Thomas Manzini. While they did bring drones to help with the recovery efforts, they didn't end up flying them and instead they provided data management. Together, Murphy and Manzini worked with other recovery teams in Florida. Collectively, from all the teams, drones brought in over 47,000 files of data in the first 4 days.
So, is this the first time that they have assisted in disaster relief like this?
Actually, Krazar has assisted with over 30 disasters in the past, including Hurricane Katrina in 2005 and Hurricane Harvey in 2017. Murphy said that they never self-deploy, they are always requested by authority with incident command authority. Murphy said in a quote, "Even though A&M is a top school working in disasters, there are very few people who do this in the world. It's that everybody, students and administrators, are all together behind it 100%. I know it makes a difference to our community," end quote.
Thank you so much for coming on, Amanda.
Thank you for having me.
Even though October seems to be the time when the supernatural becomes most popular, one student organization at A&M has made an all-year endeavor. Here to tell us more about it is life and arts writer Caitlin Porras. So, Caitlin, thank you so much for coming on today. Can you tell us a little bit more about this organization?
Founded in 2018, Texas A&M's Paranormal Society, or TAPS, is the university's first known paranormal investigative student organization that focuses on learning about anything in the paranormal realm in a real scientific way.
So, what do the member activities typically involve?
The student organization spends the majority of its time investigating different locations across various small towns all over Texas. So, while also being a social organization for members to explore their interest in whatever paranormal topic the members see fit.
Okay, so are there any haunted areas on A&M's campus?
Yes, the investigating organization has a few on-campus recommendations for the ghost-loving students who want to get in the spooky spirit. Aerospace Engineering Senior and President of TAPS, Courtney Kramer, said the Animal Industries building is haunted and recommends walking around during school hours. The reason the building is haunted, according to Kramer, is because it was once considered a meat lab, and during the job, a man accidentally cut his left leg in what is now the basement. In addition to the Animal Science building, TAPS members say Francis Hall, located next to Evans Library, is also haunted. Kramer said, quote, "Apparently when Francis was built, one of the construction workers died while building it," end quote.
Wow, that sounds really interesting. Thank you so much for coming on, Caitlin.
Thank you for having me.
For more information on all stories featured in today's episode, visit our website at thebat.com or pick up a print edition on stands every Thursday. This week's contributors are myself, Kyle McClinigan, Amanda Hare, and Caitlin Porras. Make sure to check out previous episodes of The Bat Signal and Home Turf, available wherever you get your podcast.